Hey everyone, and welcome. So, you're thinking about the 2026 Subaru Forester, and you've hit the big question. Should you stick with the classic gas engine or jump into the new hybrid? Well, we're going to break it all down for you. By the end of this, you'll have a really good idea of which one belongs in your driveway. Let's dive right in.
So this is really what it all comes down to, right? We're not just talking about numbers on a spreadsheet. This is about finding the car that actually fits your life. For your daily drive, your weekend getaways, and of course your wallet. Let's figure this out. Now, before we get into what's different, let's remember what makes a Forester, well, a Forester. No matter which one you pick, you're getting that amazing symmetrical all-wheel drive that can handle just about any weather. You're getting a super roomy interior and a whole bunch of top-notch safety features. So the real choice, the new choice, is what's under the hood.
Okay, first things first, let's talk about the drive itself. This is where you're going to feel the biggest difference between these two, both when you hit the gas pedal and when you're looking at your gas bill. So let's talk power. The standard gas engine is totally solid, giving you about 180 horsepower. But then you look at the hybrid. It throws an electric motor into the mix, and that bumps you up to around 194 horsepower. Now, that might not seem like a massive leap, but trust me, you feel it. It's that extra bit of oomph that makes merging onto the highway or passing someone feel effortless.
And here's the really cool part. You get that extra power, and you get better fuel economy. It's kind of the best of both worlds. The gas model already does great, around 29 miles per gallon combined. But the hybrid, that's going to be even better. So you're getting a quicker car that also saves you money at the pump. That's a pretty sweet deal.
All right, on to the next big question for any car buyer, the price. More power and better MPG sounds awesome, but how does it actually affect your budget? Let's break down the costs.
Okay, so here's a look at the estimated prices for the gas-powered models. As you can see, you can get into a Forester for right around $30,000 for the base model. And it goes up to about $40,000 for the touring trim, which is totally loaded with features. It really gives you a nice range to choose from a super practical daily driver to something that feels almost like a luxury SUV.
And here's the bottom line. While that hybrid is definitely going to save you money on gas down the road, you do have to plan for a higher price tag up front. We're probably talking a few $1,000s more than a similar gas model. So for a daily commuter, that's the big calculation. Is the upfront cost worth the long-term savings at the pump?
Okay, so we've covered the engine and the price. But how does this car actually fit into your day-to-day life? Let's talk about the practical stuff. Hauling gear for a weekend trip, taking your dog to the park, or packing up the whole family for a vacation.
You gotta love this number. With the back seats folded down, you get 69.1 cubic feet of cargo space. That is huge. What does that even mean? It means you can fit all your camping gear, a couple of bikes, or all the luggage for a family road trip with room to spare. For a car this size, it's an absolutely massive, super practical space.
And that practicality isn't just on the inside. Every Forester has 8.7 inches of ground clearance, which is already fantastic for handling snowy roads or a bumpy trail. But if you're the kind of person who really likes to get out there, the wilderness trim is a whole other level. It bumps that clearance up to 9.3 inches and adds beefier tires, turning this thing into a legit off-road machine.
Now, whether you're on a dirt road or just running errands, the tech inside makes everything easier and safer. Every single Forester gets the EyeSight safety system standard. It's like having a co-pilot watching the road with you. Inside, you can get this beautiful 11.6-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which just makes your whole drive better. Oh, and that hands-free power liftgate, a total lifesaver when you're juggling groceries.
So let's talk really quickly about long-term care. The gas engine, it's a proven workhorse. You know what to expect, and the maintenance is pretty standard. The hybrid system, on the other hand, adds a battery and an electric motor. Now, these things are designed to be incredibly reliable and really low maintenance, but it's just a different kind of system to think about for the super long haul.
So we've covered the power, the price, and all the practical stuff. With all that in mind, how do you actually make the final call? How do you pick the right Forester for you?
This quote really nails it. It boils the whole decision down perfectly. The gas model is your tried and true, super reliable, everyday partner. The hybrid is for someone who really wants that cutting-edge efficiency and that extra punch of acceleration. It's a choice between the trusty original and the high-tech newcomer.
So here's a simple little game plan to help you decide. First, figure out your budget. Can you swing the higher starting price of the hybrid?
Second, think about how you drive. If you're doing a lot of city driving with a lot of stop and go, that's where the hybrid's awesome MPG really shines. And finally, just do some quick math. Weigh those gas savings against the purchase price over a few years.
And we'll leave you with this final thought. You know, the car world is changing fast, moving more and more toward electric. A car like the Forester Hybrid sits in this really interesting spot. It gives you a taste of that electric-like efficiency and quiet power, but with zero range anxiety. You could say it's the perfect bridge to whatever comes next in the world of cars. Definitely something to think about.